This is what I'm making caramel pear pie, doing for Thanksgiving dessert. This is going to be for a delicious caramel pear flavor. Now what I have here is pear. I'm using the 5 kid-sized Bartlett pear. You can use any type of pear you want, any variety. So I'm going to start by peeling it, using the vegetable peeler. And then I'm going to core the pear with using a sharp knife. So I'll come back to finish the rest of the pear. Okay, so once the apples has been just peeled, we're going to use the knife to cut a core this way, like this one. Make sure the knife is very sharp. I preheat the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to make sure the oven is preheated, just to keep it all the way through. You can slice it in one, but I like to chop the pears into bite-sized pieces. You can slice the wedge of the pear if you can, it is completely up to you. Alright, we just finished cutting up some pears that I removed the core. Then we're going to put it into the mixing bowls. To give the pear from discoloring, I don't want the pears to turn over browning, so I like to take a lemon juice, because the lemon juice will help the pear to keep it fresh from over browning. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to give this to a toss to coat the pears into a lemon flavor. Can you smell that? It's going to be good. I like to give this pear for a nice sweeter. I'm going to take a half cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. Just going to break it down. I'm going to use it with a wooden spoon. Just keep tossing it until the pear is well coated into the light brown sugar after the lemon juice. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to prepare for their caramel sauce. Now we're going to make some caramel sauce that goes into the pear, and we're going to use some caramels. I'm going to use Kraft's caramel bits that I found this on Target that I just went for. And to give it a slightly thick, I'm going to use with heavy cream. Now I'm using 1 cup of caramel bits, unwrapped, easy melting. And we're going to melt the caramels, low flame or medium. So once the caramels are melted, I'm going to add some heavy cream. I'm going to do it for a 1/4 cup at a time. I'm going to see how that goes, and then just keep this stir together. I want caramel to make it nice and thick in sauce. It looks just perfect. So I just lower the heat because we don't want to burn the caramel. I put in a 1 cup of caramel bits and a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. So I remove from the heat. As you may know, you can see, just we almost thicken it together. And that's how you make for the caramel sauce. I have a pie pastry dough that I just already thawed from the freezer. I'm going to put the pie pastry dough recipe into the description box below from last video, if you can. And then we're going to roll it out. Now I rolled the first dough that I just, using my rolling pin, that I just put into a pie plate. That'll be for 9-inch with the holes on it. So I just patch it out without breaking it. If it got break, just use with hot tap water to seal it in. It's easy to stick it in. And then I'm going to put the pear into the first pie, and then we're going to roll the next dough. So let's put this pear together separate. If it still got liquid in it, I put it strained over here. I'm going to move the pear from the liquid. Just put it into the first pie shell. To this strained liquid, I decided to put in a tablespoon of cornstarch into the drained pear liquid. I'm just going to give this to a whisk. I'm going to microwave these to see how that goes, to thicken those liquid pear sauce, just like we made gravy. I just put 1 minute, is almost got thickened together with those cornstarch. Just like a paste. Just move the whisk. And let's put this right into the pear. I just always spread it over into the pie shell. I just always put it into the microwave safe bowl because it's easier to use it for. Just spread it over, or you can. And then we're going to pour it into the caramel sauce. Put the caramel sauce. You can see it's right almost thickened into the pear. I love caramel. Alright, I rolled the last dough, put it on top of the pear, and I just seal it in. We're using the hot tap water. And then you can see how the caramel just drips all the way to the top of the pie crust. But here's a trick. I decided I can put some large cookie sheet lined with parchment paper that I place the pie right over here because it's easy for spillages. Now, to seal the edge, I'm going to use a fork to pinch it around, just like this, or you can flute it if you can. Now, I just made the egg wash really light. I put 1 egg with teaspoons of milk, whole milk that I'm using for. You can use any kind of milk substitute if you can. Then we're just going to take a pastry brush and then you're going to brush it right over the top to make a shiny look. Don't forget the edges that has caramels in here. I like to sprinkle a tablespoon of granulated sugar right on top, just like this one, and this is going to be nice and crystallizing test on the pie. Just use your finger to spread out the excess sugar, just a little more. And lastly, I'm going to cut with some vents. We're using with a paring knife. Right outside of the center. I'm going to cut 4 vents that allows the steam to escape. And that goes into the oven for 1 hour. Alright, then it looks done. Can you see the pear? Just smell the crust all the way. And you can see the spillages dripping over on the parchment paper. Is easy way. Can you see the spillages right over here on parchment paper? Onto the cookie sheet. It's gonna be great. And then I'm going to let this cool on wire rack before we're going to serve. So once it's cooled completely, we're going to serve this up and see how it looks. You can see the crust is very crispy, it's nice and crunchy. I love the smell of the pear and the caramel with the crust on it. Let's put it onto the serving plate. This looks beautiful. You can see the pear nice and tender on the inside of the pie. It's gonna be nice and smell-o-vision. And here's the finished caramel pear pie. You're going to serve it with vanilla ice cream on the sides of the pie, or you can top it with whipped cream on the pie. It's great for Thanksgiving dessert, very special. So I hope you enjoy.